You may have wondered, where was Lord of the Rings filmed if you've seen any of the Lord of the Rings films? The entirety of LOTR was shot in New Zealand. Peter Jackson believed that New Zealand would be the perfect place to capture the beauty and untamed nature of Middle-earth, and he couldn't have been more accurate. So where was Lord of the Rings filmed in New Zealand? More than 150 LOTR movie locations are spread nationwide, so it's not just one place. We've developed a list of filming locations you shouldn't miss if you're a big Lord of the Rings fan. 12. Hobbiton. Offering a guided tour, Hobbiton is a place significant to the locations of Lord of the Rings. Situated on a family-run farm in the evergreen pastures of the Shire, the movie fans would not take more than a second to make the right guess for the scenes shot here. 11. Deer Park Heights. 550 meters above the Queenstown, Deer Park Heights is another panorama of view and beauty. The place, known for peaceful drives and a working deer farm, hence the name, was ideally suited to the nature of the film, Lord of the Rings, shot here. LOTR-1 location is also present in this very place. The huge mountains that engulf the area are shown in the second part of the movie when people of Rohan move from Edoras to Helm's Deep. The fans of the movie would be quick enough to recall all the scenes shot in this epitome of natural beauty and serenity. 10. Otago, the hub for expeditions. The Otago region is home to several interesting locations. The northwestern slopes of Mount Earnslaw, the mountain seen in Lord of the Rings. The Two Towers opening sequence can be seen in Glenorchy, a town close to Queenstown. The Gladden Field scenes were filmed at Wilcox Green. The Cowara Bridge served as the Fellowship's access point as they passed the Pillars of Kings, and the 12-mile delta served as the site of the Ithilien camp. Other nearby locations included Skipper's Canyon, which served as the fort of Bruinen, where Arwen defeated Nazgul, Wilcox Green, and the Gladden Fields. The River Anduin and the Pillars of Argonath may be seen from Cardona Valley, near Wanaka. And Mount Aspiring National Park is where we saw the scene in Nankuranir, where Gandalf rises to Isengard. 9. The Canterbury region, home of Edoras. The center of Edoras was Mount Sunday, a sheer hill hidden in the Canterbury High Country. The set is no longer visible, but the mountain still has a magical allure. Explore the Pelennor Fields in Mackenzie Country, close to Twisel, to see where Sauron's orcs and the troops of Gondor and Rohan clashed. Additional scenes from the River Anduin were filmed on the Waiau River in Fiordland National Park. Snowdon Forest, close to North Mavera Lake, served as the backdrop for Fangorn Forest scenes where Treebeard saves Merry and Pippin. You must comprehend, young hobbit, that Old Entish is a slow language, and we never say anything unless it is important enough to say it slowly. Milford Sound is one of the most captivating sights you can imagine, so if you decide to visit Fiordland National Park, check it out. 7. Putangirua Pinnacles, Dimholt Road. The Putangirua Pinnacles, where they filmed the Dimholt Road, and where Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas enter the Paths of the Dead, is another prominent location. The Putangirua Pinnacles are situated close to Cape Palliser, the island's southernmost point, along the North Island south coast. A 2-hour looping path leads you first to a vantage point from which you can see the pinnacles, then down to the pinnacles so you may walk between them. It is simple to understand why they chose this location for the movie, The Dimholt Road, because it gives off an unearthly and frightening sense of walking between these bare boulders. Try to locate the precise spot in the rocks where the Paths of the Dead entrance was filmed. The exit is locked, and it was created by those who have passed on, and they retain it until the appropriate moment. The door is closed. 6. Mount Sunday, Edoras. The city of Edoras, the capital of Rohan, was constructed and filmed on the majestic Mount Sunday. This set, built over 9 months, included the imposing Golden Hall as its centerpiece on top of the cliffs, and the gate and city walls at the mountain's base. Even though Mount Sunday was taken down after filming, just like the other sets, it is still interesting to see. The Rangitata River, which flows in a serpentine pattern below, and the lush Hakatir Conservation Park, which stretches out in front of you, can both be seen from the peak. This tour departing from Christchurch is the ideal opportunity to discover Edoras and discover more about the filming location. 5. Twisel, Pelennor Fields. Perhaps the most incredible epic combat in the Lord of the Rings trilogy occurs during the face of the Pelennor Fields. where the troops of Gondor and its allies battled the forces of Sauron in front of Minas Tirith. In terms of the number of people on the filming set, it was undoubtedly the most significant battle. Over 1,700 individuals were present on the scene, including nearly every resident of Twisel who served as extras, as the fight was filmed on the fields surrounding the small town of Twisel. Although the fields are on private property, you can still arrange a tour of Pelennor Fields and attempt to reenact the battle. The battle in the movies was filmed over 32 days, so hopefully you can finish it sooner. The location is quite stunning, with mountain ranges in every direction and Mount Cook National Park nearby, even if you aren't interested in making a trip. 4. Mount Owen, Dimril Dale. The Fellowship emerges into Dimril Dale following their escape from Moria, where Gandalf and the Balrog both plunged to their deaths. Mount Owen serves as the backdrop for the scene as they leave Moria and enter the woods and hills. However, getting to this shooting location is difficult. Unless you have a helicopter like a cast and crew, you're looking at a 6 to 8 hour hike because the place can only be reached on foot or by air. 3. Wellington. Wellington heavily influenced the Lord of the Rings films. In addition to being used as a filming setting for movies like Rivendell, Helm's Deep, and Minas Tirith, Wellington is also the location of Weta Workshop. Most of the props and costumes and the film's visual effects were created at Weta Workshop, which served as one of the indoor filming locations. Weta Workshop has since transformed a portion of the structure into a museum called Weta Cave, where many movie-related items are exhibited, and visitors are informed about how special effects and props are created. The filming location for Rivendell was Kaitoki Regional Park. Large structures were erected in the surrounding forest to bring Rivendell to life during filming. Later, the park erected a gate to represent Rivendell's entrance. Minas Tirith and Helm's Deep filming took place at Dry Creek Quarry. Massive sets were erected in this quarry to film the epic Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith combat scenes. Filming the Helm's combat took 120 days. Peter Jackson took inspiration from the French village of Mont Saint-Michel for Minas Tirith. Then, parts of Minas Tirith were constructed utilizing a portion of the Helm's Deep set. However, the sizable aerial overview views of Minas Tirith were captured using a more miniature duplicate, which was nonetheless rather large. The Dry Creek Quarry is once again just a quarry, and if you weren't aware that these two enormous sets and fight scenes were shot here, you probably wouldn't even notice. 2. Poolburn Reservoir, Rohan. The Poolburn Reservoir served as a location for numerous additional Rohan sequences, including those with attacked villages and vistas of the vast Rohan plains. With its expansive, lonely tables, mesmerizingly turquoise water, and oddly shaped rocky outcrops, this nature reserve immediately gives you the impression that you are in Rohan as you drive through it. Welcome to Rohirrim's territory. 1. Queenstown, Glenorchy and Paradise. The region around Queenstown and the adjoining towns of Glenorchy and Paradise are probably the most picturesque in New Zealand. Thus, it makes sense that numerous movie sequences were shot there. You genuinely feel as though you are wandering in Middle-earth because of the lake, the nearby snow-capped mountains, the woods, and the verdant fields. Amon Hen, for instance, was filmed in the Closeburn woodlands near Lake Wakatipu. At this point, the Uruk-hai catch up to the Fellowship, kill Boromir, and kidnap Merry and Pippin. On his way to sever your head from your body, Lurtz may nearly be seen sprinting through the trees. Ithilien Camp and Ithilien Lookout were filmed at the 12-mile delta, a little distance from Closeburn. Sam, Frodo, and Gollum can watch this action as Faramir and his rangers battle the Haradrim on their Mumakil Olifant. Continue driving along the lakeside road until you reach Glenorchy, a charming town. The Dart River's edge is where the Isengard movie was filmed. You reach the woodland where Lothlorien was filmed when you travel farther down the road to Paradise. Yes, this place is called Paradise and lives up to its name. The mountains in this area were used for several aerial mountain shots, primarily in the scenes where Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas chase the Uruk-hai that has Merry and Pippin in its grasp. From Queenstown, the Kawara River can be reached by traveling opposite. The River Anduin and the River Argonath, which the Fellowship uses to get from Lothlorien to Amon Hen, were shot in parts of this river. The breathtaking landscapes and welcoming locals of New Zealand have always attracted tourists from throughout the world. The Lord of the Rings movie's commercial success undoubtedly had a big impact on travel. thereby elevating New Zealand as a travel destination.